Okay, so this month is the month that we bought the car last year. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what I feel about this car. So given that half of the year was wasted in Corona, I basically had just about 2 trips in this car. And the first one was a trip that we were trying to go to Uttarakhand, and some 100 kilometers before Nagpur, basically I drove through a couple of potholes and both the driver's side tires got destroyed, so basically we didn't go anywhere. The car was lying in the workshop in Nagpur for almost 15 days because the BMW did not have 2 tires for this car in the whole country. So they had to get it from Germany. So that is one of the downsides in dealing with these companies which make luxury cars, is that the spares are always a problem. It's not that you don't get them, you will get them, but none of them are readily available, and that causes a problem. The second trip was just a personal trip where we drove to Madhya Pradesh and then to Delhi. So, and it was a very leisurely trip. So that was almost 3,500 kilometers, and car did perform very well. So we had no issues with that. After that, we had some warranty issues. Actually, the first warranty issue cropped up within the first month of buying the car. Basically, the motor that drives the lower hatch on the boot died, and BMW diagnosed it, but they had to get the spare, and because the manufacturer of the spare was being changed around the same time, it took almost 4 to 5 months before we got the motor. And then in the month of March they got the motor, and when I sent the car for fixing the problem, during a software upgrade they ran into some issues and basically the whole instrument cluster died. And that was around the same time when the lockdown happened, the Corona lockdown happened. So then the car was lying in the workshop for another 3 months because it was basically undrivable without the instrument cluster. So out of a year, almost 6 months, the car was not even with me. So that's the sad bit. Now the plus point, when the car drives, it does drive very well. This one is the petrol variant, so it has much lower vibrations that come through the cabin. The drive is very smooth, much smoother compared to the diesel variant and the previous year's variants. And one other small benefit is that your PUC has to be done only once a year rather than every 6 months. I recently went to get my pollution check done, and automatically the system essentially gave me an expiry date which was beyond a year. Apart from that, the cabin is much improved. It does look like a luxury car now. The plastics are of much better quality. You don't fear that you are going to get scratched on your body somewhere just because you touch a side plastic. Most of the interior is basically double stitched, which looks very good. It does give you a feeling of a high quality product. The Apple CarPlay system in the car, when it works very well, but it still has kinks to be worked out, and I'm not sure whether it's a problem on BMW end or the Apple end, because every time Apple puts out a software upgrade, the behavior changes. But what essentially happens is, as you're driving, suddenly the Apple CarPlay will get cut off from the phone. And if you're using a navigation, it's a little challenging, because if you are in the middle of a town with a lot of congested roads, you may essentially lose your direction because suddenly there is no map. The good thing is the BMW does have its own maps which you can use if you really need them, you want to be sure. But apart from that, compared to many other cars, the quality of integration of Apple CarPlay is much better. Apart from that, there are, in terms of the vehicle stability while driving, it does feel much planted because the rear tires are much wider in this petrol variant. The brakes are also of superior quality because of this being M Sport variant. So you can really stop at a short notice. The sad part about it is that you can stop at a short notice, but the guy behind you won't be able to stop and he will hit you from the back. So that problem is still there, and I don't think you can solve it. People just have to learn to drive within their capabilities of their car. Apart from those things, the rear seats are a little bit more luxurious compared to the previous car. The leg room is a little bit more improved, and the fact that they have been able to run the AC ducts through the B-pillar into the back has been a great improvement, because previously the rear passengers always had a complaint that in the summer weathers it used to just really get hot, and being a luxury car, that was really not acceptable. But we have not tested that yet, because this whole summer has been wasted courtesy Corona. So next time when we drive in summers or even serious winters, we will be able to really figure out the effectiveness of air conditioning on the rear seats. So I think that's kind of what it is about the car. I am right now just taking it for a drive, just to recharge the batteries and get the oil flowing through the systems. I'll probably go on the Nice Road flyover and maybe go to the Electronic City flyover, and then maybe the Nice Road flyover, and then come back home. So that's basically what is the message for the day. Okay, so now we are entering the Nice Road. The Nice Road has always been a very strange road, like Yamuna Expressway. Everywhere in the country they will accept FASTag or other electronic toll systems, but these guys follow their own laws. And in this time of Corona, you still have to stop, give him some cash, which is a very sad thing. I don't know when will this get fixed. And they never have enough people working, so there is always a queue. You always have to wait for some time. So that's what it is, but you have no other choice. So we will also go and join one queue. This car comes with one wireless charger where I put my iPhone, which is connected. So to charge other phone, I bought this other one which fits very nicely. This is from a company called Choitech. Let me show it to you. This, and it fits in that slot nicely with, and you can put your other phone or the car key for charging. If you're using display key, you have to keep on charging it every now and then, because now I have to wear my mask because I have to interact with the toll guy. Bannerghatta.
Artist rendering. Oh, it's not a photo, underwater photography. No.
That's pretty cool.
You know what's also cool is us taking a break. So let's do that. Let's go back and finish up. Might be. Very good.
Okay, so finally we are in Nice Road. The Nice Road is not so nice anymore. I mean, the surface is all uneven. There are patches on the road which are not properly done. I remember a few years ago when the Formula One race happened in Delhi, they had brought a Formula One car, and in Bangalore to drive it they could only find Nice Road on which they had done a demo. Today if they try to do it, I think it will just dismantle itself in few hundred meters. It's just that it is so expensive to drive on this particular road. I think the toll is probably close to 4 rupees a kilometer, that most people avoid it, and that's why there is not much traffic. Otherwise this road is not really worth driving on. This is a speed warning that this car gives. I have never been able to figure out how to disable it. So you have to just live with it. Okay, so exit gate for the toll. Again, I have to wear the mask and essentially show this thing. Out of it. Now we have to get in on the other side. Okay, so we are going back onto the Nice Road in the other direction. So we are back at the exit gate on the other end, and now we will get out and probably go back home.